Your next question comes from Jeannie Hayward from the Resource Connection. The candidates will have 2 minutes for their responses, and we're starting with Mr. Randall.
Good evening. Our county, as with other counties in the state, is currently faced with significant fiscal challenges that require careful consideration of our priorities. What are your budget priorities, and how would they impact single heads of households and families with children in our communities who are facing issues such as hunger, underemployment, unemployment, and increased stress causing crisis due to our current economic circumstances?
There's a lot of budget concerns in our county, well, across the nation. In my opinion, one of the best ways we can help our county is to get our economy going again. We've got to create jobs. We've got to provide opportunities for our young families to work closer to home and to be able to find a job to start with. We have to be careful about where we allocate our money. The Sheriff's Department is always a big gorilla in the room when it comes to budget, because our safety is an important factor in our county. I haven't been through the budget process sitting on the board, and I know it's a tough job for them to have to sit there and figure out who gets what and what the priorities are, but our families are the biggest priority in my view. We've got to make sure that they have the things that they need. I do not believe it's the government's responsibility to create jobs. I believe that needs to come from the private sector.
30 seconds.
The government can help by making it a little easier for the job opportunities to exist, for startup companies to come about. And I haven't sat on the board, and I haven't had that opportunity to help in that way, but I believe I have the background to help, and I would love the opportunity to help our county out.
Most of the issues you raised are not directly addressed by county government. I mean, we have our fiscal challenges, and we basically meet that challenge by producing a balanced budget every year that allocates funds to those areas in the county for which the county government has responsibility. The county government doesn't fund directly the food bank or underemployment in the household, etc. That's not a county responsibility. The county has no way to effectively address that. You know, everybody, I think, here agrees, and I suspect out there agrees, we need a much better economy, a growing economy, and that's where you'll create jobs, and that's where you'll create additional revenues. I don't know that raising taxes is the way to grow the economy or to create
30 seconds.
Additional jobs. But the issues you raise are very valid. But you know, the county can't do it alone. I mean, we need to rethink state government and the policies that are coming out of the legislature. We need to rethink national government and the policies that are coming out of the national government, out of both parties over the last 12 years or 16 years. It's not a one-party issue. Neither party, in my opinion, has done an effective job.
I think one of the things to help turn it around, and it's been said here before, is the jobs. You know, we need to take a look at how best we can create jobs. We need to take a look at how we can encourage business to want to do business in Calaveras County and get rid of that misnomer of how difficult we are to work with, or we're not open for business, and all of the ugly things you hear out there. But I think if we had jobs and better jobs in our community, that would certainly help some of these other issues that may not be government's responsibility to take care of. With jobs, I also find that public safety is a great concern to many people. And as Cliff mentioned earlier in regards to the drug use in Calaveras County, I think that's a direct effect to some of these organizations here tonight, and helping those people get back on their feet and find a way to be able to sustain themselves. But first and foremost, we need to create a healthy economy. And granted, the state and national levels have their problems, and we probably are the brunt end of all that. But I think there's a lot locally that we can do, and first of all, look at how business-friendly or unfriendly we are in Calaveras County and turn that misnomer around.
Jobs is what I've been pushing for all along, what I've been saying all along. If you have people that are busy and working, then you have less issues with hunger, you have less issues with household low income, you have less issues with drugs, and you have more money to provide to the services that we need. And this economy, of course, has been bad, but there are other counties out there that are doing just fine. They're doing great. And we are pretty darn low on the totem pole. And so what I would do is make every effort to, and I know people say that, you know, government can't create jobs, but and that's true. But they can make it easy for jobs to come in here and open up business. And that hasn't been done. So we need to make every effort to do that.
30 seconds.
If we can put some of these young people to work, they'll stay here. And they'll reinvest back into their community. We'll have better volunteerism, and we'll have better communities. Right now, what we have are young people that don't have anything to do except get in trouble. So that's what we need to work on.
Well, I don't disagree with a lot of people that what was said here today, but I will say this, since I've been on this board, Calaveras County Board of Supervisors, and Jeannie knows that I sit on the CMCA, which is Calaveras Mariposa Community Action Agency. That action agency receives federal funds through the state to be distributed to low-income people. The lion's share of that fund has always gone to the Resource Connection. I've also been involved in Santa's Express that goes on. That's starting up here and it goes on for Thanksgiving and Christmas time. Those are programs that are funded through volunteers and funded through some state dollars and federal dollars and local community dollars. I don't disagree with the fact that we've been, and everybody knows we've been in a down economy.
30 seconds.
It's not just here in Calaveras County, it's in all counties. You can say other counties are doing very well. Statistically, the county surrounding us that everybody thinks is doing so well had big hits this year on their budgets. Amador County was down about $2 million. They had to go back and find what they were going to do for that gap, that hole. Tuolumne County was laying off people. They were laying off officers. They were laying off DAs. They had problems too. So it's not just Calaveras County. And I say my district is open for business, and I have brought businesses into this county and provided jobs in this economy. So it's how you work and how you do and what you need to do as a supervisor to accommodate those businesses that are looking to open up or relocate here in this county or in your district.
Well, I think that the biggest problem with first of all, I'd like to start off by saying that the supervisors sitting up here have done and the existing sitting supervisors and these community leaders here have done a great job at keeping things running here in the county. I mean, it really has been almost a miracle that we have, you know, all the libraries open for one example in this downturn of the economy. So they should be commended. And what we need to do is we need to generate more revenue through building the economy and also looking at all kinds of different ways of bringing in more money to tackle the problems we have, such as the proposal we have on the table here, the TOT increase. I think is a perfect example of how you bring in more revenue that benefits the entire county without any detriment to the county. Another example is really working at building alliances with people who don't normally get along. I think the Amador Calaveras Consensus Group that Steve Walensky has been working on is a perfect example of where you bring together people that, a few years ago were pointing fingers at each other and calling each other names and refusing to sit down at a table, are now working together, realizing that they don't have to like each other, but if they do actually put aside their differences and work together in the same room, they can get money back into the county. Now we're looking at $26 million coming in through this consensus project where you have environmentalists, loggers, SBI all working together to really make the county work again. And so I think that's what we need to do, is set aside our differences and
30
really
seconds.
get to work on rebuilding our economy.
Great. Thank you, candidates.